Okay, just hit the button to go live and it's preparing. And I think we're probably okay. We are here. Hey, Laura, it is TGIF Friday and we are here in Chicagoland. And it is a little bit crummy out, but guess what? It's going to be nice this weekend. And
Yes, it is.
I have flowers coming up and I can't wait to
Oh,
show you when you're
wonderful.
over in a couple weeks. They're popping up. But I just want to say that life throws people punches and life happens. And you know what? Some stuff that Lori went through yesterday, she's like, hey, we got to talk about this. And I said, I agree. I think this is something we do. And with that, Laura, I'm going to turn it over to you and say, how are
Oh,
you? And how's your day
I'm
going?
doing great today compared to what I was doing yesterday. We're going to talk about fibromyalgia. It is it's diagnosed as a syndrome collection of signs and symptoms of medical problems, and there's no cure for it, and there's no way to diagnose it. Okay. What fibromyalgia is, it's chronic pain on all your parts of your body. You get fatigue, you get cognitive difficulties, you feel lazy, you can't get out of bed, your body feels like it's bruised from head to toe. Yesterday, I could not even hardly get out of bed. And I just would wanted to sleep, and I didn't even want to eat. And I was in so much pain. The only time I got up was to go to the bathroom. But I know we have a lot of our people that are in our group here that struggle with it. And I want to tell you a little bit about my journey. And then I'm going to tell anybody that has some of these things to go do some research on it. There's so much research on it on the internet. And also, YouTube is awesome. They got some great doctors on there and people on there talking about it. Let me just tell you about my journey, okay? I have so many things that are wrong with me, okay? And I was so fortunate to find a wonderful doctor. And I kept saying, I'm in so much pain. I'm so tired. And, I'm a diabetic and I have all these things. And it could be because of that. But what happens with fibromyalgia, your pain is worse than it is with what you're supposed to be feeling with some of these problems. For example, if you have lupus, you have MS like I do, or you have any of those things, it's going to be 3-4 times more of pain. And like I said, they don't know what causes it, okay? They don't know, they don't even have a test for it. What they will do is they'll ask you multiple questions when you go in to see a doctor. And I was very fortunate that my doctor sent me to a rheumatologist. And the rheumatologist sat with me and asked me a lot of questions. And, after a couple of visits, they just said that you have fibromyalgia. And so they gave me gabapentin. Gabapentin is a nerve blocker. Okay, so it's supposed to make your nerves so they don't feel as bad as they should. But even with my gabapentin, I still feel the pain. I know on Facebook, some people will put out a post about fibromyalgia, and they'll show a person that's bruised all over their body, their forehead, their cheeks, their neck, their hands, their shoulders, their back, their hips, their knees, and their feet. And that's exactly how you feel when you have fibromyalgia. And, it's just a terrible disease to have. But the biggest problem with it is that you can't see it from the outside. So some people might think you're just making it up or you're using it for an excuse not to go do something. It is real, people, absolutely real. You get irritable bowel syndrome, you get headaches and migraines, you get nausea, you get constipated. There's just such a multiple of things. Debbie, do you have any questions about that as I talk about all of this?
No, but I do want to say a couple of things, Laura, because, I feel like as I'm looking at this list and it makes perfect sense, it can lead to depression.
Right.
And the fatigue, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
forgetfulness and brain fog and all these different things. So all of this together combined can make people, it's kind of a crossover, like you were saying, there's different things that actually are like different ailments or things that are people going through, but they don't realize that some of this is caused because of this type of symptom. So that's, I don't have any questions, but I definitely wanted to make sure that was painful bladder syndrome. That's another one. And a lot of older people complain of that, so.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have all these, but I tell you what I really suffer the most with is depression and fatigue. And I'm on so much depression medicine, but when you're in that much pain, you're still so depressed, because especially, Deb, I'm like you, we got to keep busy all the time.
Right.
And when I can't do what I need to do, I'm so depressed. Right. And, my house is messy because I didn't get to do my normal routine every day. And all I kept telling to Gary yesterday, my boyfriend, was, I feel so lazy. I'm sorry, I'm lazy. I bet you didn't want to be with a woman that's so lazy. I mean, stupid stuff was coming in my head,
Right.
And it's just, and I have problems with constipation because of it. I'm not embarrassed to say it. And,
it's the body, you guys, it's the health and wellness zone. I mean, let's be real.
Okay? Right. Exactly.
I mean, come on.
And another thing too, is I deal with pins and needles, and I have numbness in my hands, other things in my life. But they're more intense.
It's amplified, yes.
And it's just like, you just wish it would be over, and I read a lot of stuff. I know there's and I'll put it on our page. I think there is, I should say, a support group for people with fibromyalgia. The best thing to do is to talk to people about it that are going through it, and sympathize with them. We need sympathy because it is really hard on us. And we don't want to feel like we're losers or anything in life. It's not a great disease to have.
Right.
But, and I recommend, if anybody has any of these things, and we'll put the list out, to contact your doctor and talk to them about it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, I'm sorry, my throat is really dry today.
I know it is. I'm going to make a suggestion, Laura. I think if we could cut and paste the symptom list that you had, so I just want to make note here for a second. Again, we're two crazy chicks that come up with subjects. We're no authority on anything. Okay. We bring out common everyday things that we know that people want to learn about. And in essence, it ends up that we're learning about it, and we're learning more, and we in turn can help other people. And maybe you don't have something going on like this, but then maybe you have a family member or friend, and then you remember what we were talking about, and then you share it. So it's it's a cool, that's what the whole concept is. So,
right. And I just want to give you some other facts too. More women get it than men.
Okay.
I do know a man that has it really, really bad. He's an elderly man. He's in his 80s, and he suffers every day. And he was a big gardener, and he has so many problems even doing that anymore. And there's a lot of things that are with it that is just terrible. Sleep problems. And Debbie, from me talking, I don't sleep very well. I wake up with a lot of pain. And because of my other illnesses too, right. But I will sleep for an hour and a half and wake up and be in so much pain. And then, I go back to sleep, and it's like these hour and a half increments. And I know a lot of people suffer with that. And it's just a hard disease. But I know, Debbie, you have some other things that you could talk to us about, what you that can help people out with the situation.
Well, I'm just going to do a little light glaze over this. And I'm going to say that I'm going to put up some more in-depth information that will explain it a little bit better. And it's on a YouTube, and I'm going to share it. And it actually talks a little bit more, and it has some interviews in there, and it talks about some of the people that they've gone through different things. Pain is something that a lot of people suffer with in all different aspects. Pains in their backs, pains in their arms, legs, neck, shoulder, wherever, feet. Okay. And I can attest to the fact that from standing all these years, I've got pain, but I blame it on being a hairdresser, but I don't know. Is some of these things that you say and on this list, Lori, I completely have. There's no doubt about it. So the key factor is, how do you manage things? Okay. How can you get some relief? Number one, we're also going to just say, please consult your doctors, talk to them. And in any event that you can avoid, and Lori, I know you had to do this, so I'm not putting you down. Don't trust me. But in any event that you can avoid medication, please go for it. But if you need to, don't feel bad, okay? Because you need to do that, because you know what? You got to be there for the rest of your family and be able to not, like, we're here to live a life and be, have fun and do different things. But I've come across something that's helped me, and I'm just going to share it real quick. And I know Lori's worn this stuff, and I'm telling you, it's amazing. But it's a concept that, on the bottom of our foot, we have sensors. And if you ever think of old Chinese reflexology technology, and you think about like what they can do when they do a foot massage, and they can literally pressure points that actually can trigger your organs, it can trigger to your brain, it can do all these crazy things. So it's amazing what can happen. Well, I ran across in the tail end of 2019 from a doctor that actually showed it to me, who was a friend. Okay. So I wasn't at the doctor for an appointment. He happened to be a friend, and he happened to get introduced to this. And I went ahead and I started trying it and wearing it for myself, because I'm like, if this could help me, this would be fabulous. And how simple this is that it's insoles that you put in your shoes. And like, I have this one on right now, and I'm wearing a sandal. So I actually cut it down the middle, and the technology is right in the back here. It's called a HPT technology. And if you see me go like this, you can see this roundness and this circle pattern that actually communicates with the bottom of your foot, and then it communicates with your brain and your central nervous system. So I wear these every day when I'm working, but I also sleep in socks. And the socks have the same kind of technology on the bottom, because I can't have those insoles on my feet when I'm sleeping. So here's a pair of socks. These are sporty socks, but the tech is right at the bottom, right here. Okay. And they have Italian. I had to bring these up because they're Italian made, but they have all kinds of cool socks, and they have different socks that are all different patterns and colors, and they're diabetically approved because they're nice and gentle here. Okay. These are medium. So the large and the extra large are larger. They have every pattern you can imagine. But what's been happening with people, and then also, let me back up, they have a patch if you want to do a simple Simon patch that you could put on as well. This is more for convenience, but this is, of course, socks and insoles are more economical. But what's cool is that it works differently for everybody. Okay. So it may affect you and it may not. But the cool thing about the company, and it's in there, that they actually have a 30-day money back guarantee. So when I started wearing it, I thought, what have I got to lose? And I wear it all the time. My whole entire family wears it. My mother-in-law wears some of the tech for her neuropathy. But I'm reading this, Lori, and I'm thinking my mother-in-law could possibly have fibromyalgia, because some of these other things on here, again, cross over. Right. So let's face it, everybody has some kind of ache or pain as you get older, especially women who childbeared. Okay. Our bodies went through a lot of stuff. Anybody who's had surgery, you have pain, whatever. If you could get a different pair of socks or insoles that you were wearing and it made you feel better, it's great. So I'm not going to talk anymore on that. The company is called Box Life. I'm going to put a link on. I'm going to download it onto our Facebook page. Take a look at the little infomercial that's on there. It will explain it more in depth. And if you want more information, all you have to do is PM me and I'll get to you. But I know it's definitely something that I'm totally so excited about, and it's not costly, and you don't replace socks and insoles all the time. So it's not like, oh my gosh, it's the product of the month. It's not, so that's my spiel.
I think it's great. Speaking about the inserts and the shoes, Gary had got a new pair of shoes, and I go, why aren't you going to wear your new shoes? He goes, well, because I want to have those insoles in my shoes. I go, you could take them out and put them in another pair of shoes. Yeah. Because he wasn't going to wear the new shoes because the insoles were not in there.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's a testimony right there. So he feels good. Right.
He loves them. But awesome. So I mean, really, what has anybody got to lose? Especially when you're in so much pain. You want to do anything you can to relieve it. We all want to live a really nice, active life. A lot of us are grandparents now, and we want to be able to do stuff with our grandchildren, or, if you're a young mom, you could get fibromyalgia as early as in your teens.
Oh, yeah.
And I look back and I'm thinking that's was a lot of my issues was that,
Absolutely.
was the pain and everything. There's a lot of things that they're and you know what another thing is too? They are saying that it could be hereditary. So
Mm-hmm.
and stuff could actually, get it and stuff. And so, there's a lot of things here. But again, if you have like a regular, like you have lupus, MS, diabetes, any of those things, especially autoimmune diseases,
Right.
most
Right.
likely you could have fibromyalgia because they cross over.
Right.
And like I said, there's no blood test or anything that you could take that will show that you have it. It will just be like, excuse me. For example, with me, they did a rheumatoid arthritis test.
Okay.
It came out negative, so I don't have rheumatoid arthritis. So that's not it. Okay. They checked a lot of the other stuff, like as far as my I get gout, so how my uric acid is, and it was in control.
Excuse me.
That's where they do a lot of stuff. Sorry, I gotta get some water. They do a lot of different stuff to rule it out,
And I just have to say one thing to tag team onto that, Lori. People, I want to just make a comment. People may never be 100% pain-free, but if it can help you so you can manage it, that's kind of, I'm noticing that as I talk to people, because, I see people on a daily basis because I'm doing their hair, and 9 out of 10 people are in pain. Like I said, in some way, shape, or form. And so, if it's managed, if you can manage it in whatever way you choose to, and we're hoping some of these practical solutions help, let's hope we can make your life better. That's what for the health and wellness of you is for. That's what this whole concept is.
Exactly. And it is true. Like I said, I'm very fortunate that not fortunate, but I'm on disability, so I could stay in bed all day if I have to. But there's a lot of people that, still go to work and have these issues. I'm still not sure if fibromyalgia qualifies for a disability. I have to look into that, Debbie. I know you and I are talking about, we want to do a panel of some people that have this. And we want to talk more about the stuff product that you have with the Vox. And we're going to do another segment on that. And, be interesting to talk to other people and what their symptoms are and how they deal with it and how your product could help people in that avenue.
Right. Thank you. And, Lori, you just hit something on the nail. How you're affected by something versus how me or someone else is, it's always going to be different. Some people might have milder or more intense and have had it longer or less time, or it can even probably come and go for all we know because they can't diagnose it. And let me just say one thing, okay? And we know this. Stress intensifies anything, okay? So my word of advice out there is try to do whatever you can. I was away for a weekend. I read a whole book. I just downloaded a new book, and I'm telling you guys, sometimes reading something positive, it just helps you just chill. So try to find something to divert yourself if you can, that will actually not take away the pain necessarily, but help engage you in something else so that you can not focus too much. Does that make sense? Like where you would, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. It definitely makes sense. And you know what else too is I suggest that our audience, and you could even tell your friends, to go ahead and learn about this, because I'm sure somebody that has it, or don't know somebody that somebody had it but you didn't know.
Right.
And it's so good to know about it because you will have much more empathy for that person, and you'll understand what they're going through, Yeah. And I just think it's a good topic that, you might know somebody that has it, or you don't know somebody, or somebody is going through where they're having all these symptoms, but they don't know what's wrong with them. learn about it. It's worth learning about it to help yourself and your family.
Right.
I know that
Excuse me.
we're so excited about everything that's going on with our page, and we want to get more people in there. So please tell your friends about us. We have some more exciting interviews coming up. Debbie and I are so excited about it.
And so blessed.
Yeah. You know what? Like I said, Debbie and I talked about this. We started this during the pandemic.
Yeah.
We did it. We don't make a dime on this. We don't charge anybody for this. This is just us.
Yeah.
Coming to you with honest information that we have found that we think that you could use.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Debbie, you have anything else to say?
I see my grandson in the back. He's on spring break. You see his head. I just want to say this, everybody, you know what? This is the weekend after Easter. Have a blessed, it's still Holy Week for a lot of people, for all of us, and just have a really, really good family-orientated weekend. And Lori, thanks for being so honest with us and telling people your story, because some people needed to hear that today. We don't know who, and we may not even know who those people are. And we just really encourage everybody, please share us, share our information. We're on YouTube. We're here, same name, for the health and wellness of you. We're encouraged it to grow, grow, grow. So with that, thank you so much, everybody, and have a really great, great weekend.
Bye. Take care. Bye.